Builder. I'm Billy Maddox. This is Chase Cunningham, owner of Morehead Motorsports. Races at national A-class level. What we're going to do today, and maybe tomorrow and the rest of the week, we're going to work on this 400EX. And we've got a lot of parts to go on it to bring from a novice trail riding level to a motocross level. Chase is going to go over a few things here, what he thinks about it, and then I'm going to jump in and help him out.
Basically, 400EX, they've been around since '99. Guys were racing these things like back in 2000. They started building 400EXs. Well, a lot of these things are available. They're readily available. You can look in your Cycle Trader. You can look on the internet, and there's all kinds of 400EXs around. You can pick them up fairly cheap. A lot of them have already got some aftermarket goodies on them, so you don't have to do a whole lot to it. You may even have one in your garage that, you know, is just sitting there. You're not doing anything with it. You want to race it. Well, what we thought would be a good idea would be to take these bikes, add a few, add some A-arms. We've got some JD Performance A-arms we're going to put on it. We've got some PEP shocks we're going to throw on it. Got some nice Duro tires, some Douglas wheels. CT Racing, we've got a CT Racing pipe. CT Racing did the head on this bike. So we've got some really nice components we're going to stick on this bike. And by sticking these components on it, we feel that we can make this 400EX, which a lot of people think is an outdated platform, we can make it competitive in a beginner to intermediate local level, and even, somewhat competitive at a national C level.
Here we are with the engine of this 400EX. We bought this, thought it was a stock engine. My head gasket blew 20 minutes into a ride. Sent the motor to CT. They discovered that it's a 440. So they sleeved it back down to a 426, a smaller bore. We do this because it's a redneck way of getting the most power they can by a 440, but you run into pulling studs out of the cases because it's too much compression and it's a lot of trouble. So that's why we went downsize. Then we went with a 12-to-1 JE high compression piston. And once this is in there, you have to run half race gas, half pump gas, at least, but preferred race gas. With this CT race engine, we got the head right here, which has a good port job and exhaust. And if you look, it's deep into the valves. Looks real nice, polished up. The intake, if you can get a close-up view on that, Allen's went in and sharpened that up so you get a better flow of gas and fuel and air mixture right there. Just going to increase the horsepower on this. CT recommends we use this webcam camshaft here. It came along with it. They say that you don't need hard face rockers. Well, since our engine had a lot of time on it, we went with the webcam hard face rockers. Which, when we get time and motivated and more coffee, I'm going to put them in this right here, okay? While CT Racing had the top end of this 400EX engine, I had the bottom end at my shop. And what I come to find out was a stock crank had quite a bit of wear on the rod right here, and I didn't want to put a new wrist pin and piston in that, and then 3 months down the road have top end failure. Whoa! So what we got, we went with a hot rod crank, and the reason we just went with a whole new crank is it's going to cost about the same as tearing that crank down, having a new rod, a new bearing put on it, and then getting it balanced. And then the time you got to wait for that, and we just went with a hot rod crank. And then we got the hot rod bearings, which one we're going to have to press onto that crank. Later on we may show you that, if you're lucky. While I put this engine together, install the crank and the top end, we're going to send you up to Bear Performance. We're going to take this frame, the 400EX, add one of their gusset kits. It's a pretty powder coat to it.
To beef up our 400EX chassis for the track, we took it to Muncie, Indiana, home of Bear Performance. Along with manufacturing complete gusset kits, Bear Performance also offers installation and powder coating. While they got to work on our frame, we talked to owner Matt Bear to find out more about his company.
Hey everybody, welcome to Bear Performance. My name's Matt. I kind of hang out here, sweep the floors, that kind of thing. We're going to be going through our powder coating and frame jobs today. Just to tell you a little bit of background about our company first though. Started a few years back doing aluminum air boxes. Few of you may remember that. I picked up one of the first Z400s to come off the line, drove across the country to Pennsylvania, picked it up, brought it back, riding on it, pounding on it, riding it out there, and just kind of noticing the frame stuff going on. So our company quickly jumped on that opportunity, started making frame gusset kits for the Z400s, and we're doing them by hand at the time, 20, 40 at a time, and just selling them out of the shop, and still really focusing on the airbox deal. But as the demand really continued to grow and it really became part of the mainstream modifications to ATVs, we just switched to a laser cutting process actually to keep up with the demand and improve our quality along the way. We're actually using a laser cutter now that is accurate down to about 1/1000th of an inch, so we can cut anything from a little pinwheel to the gusset kits that we cut out. This helps us in a lot of ways, so when you get our kit and you're installing it at home or whatever, you know it's accurate. You know that it's been measured and tested and everything down to extreme accurate measures, so you're not wasting your time grinding on stuff like you would if it was a handmade kit. It also lets us keep our costs where they are, $75 a kit. It's one of the lowest prices on the market, and at the same time one of the highest quality. We take everything, we black oxide it, so there's no rust or anything like that. Also comes with easy to follow instructions, so when you take it to your local welder or you're doing it yourself, it's all right there and you can get it done and back out on the track where you want to be anyways. A little bit of other things we do. We are a gusseting business, sell a lot of gusset kits across the country to some of the top pros on the top series, the GNCC, the GNC, a lot of motocross guys, cross-country guys. Everybody from your local rider to your local track to a weekend warrior to the top pros on the GNCC circuit out there running our products. But like I said, we also do a lot of hard parts for guys. So we're selling Blingstar nerfs and Yoshimura exhaust, and pretty much a one-stop shop for anything you need for your quad, whether it's a 400EX like we're going to show you a little bit later, 400EX build we're doing, to a 450R, which is our top-selling gusset kit. Really a wide range of products and a very knowledgeable staff that you'll find when you call Bear Performance, so we can help you get the exact parts you need to make sure that it fits just right. We're going to take you guys in the shop in a few minutes, start showing you a little bit about what goes into a frame job when we get your frame, and just kind of go from there.
Bring the frame in, clean all the paint, rust, grime, dirt off of it, and when it comes out it'll be clean white metal.
Got the frame back from sandblasting. We're laying the kit out here, getting ready to get it welded in. Eric's going over the instructions that come with the kit, so if you're doing it at home, got this easy to follow instruction sheet. Everything's labeled, numbered, so it's really easy to do. Just kind of pointing out on the frame where the pieces are going to go in, showing you a few of the major weaknesses on the 400EX frame. 400EX kit's 17 pieces, doing a lot in that front section where it's kind of triangulated. A lot of pressure coming in from the shocks and things like that. On these older bikes, we're really made to the standards that a lot of our racers need them to be at, which is just where our kit comes in. So everybody from the guys who are out there riding wheelies to the guys who are out there racing every week, and this kit's really for you. It's kind of a fix-all for everybody. So you get the 17-piece kit, weld it in real quick and easy, and you're ready to roll. You can ride worry-free. Eric's going to get pounding on the welds, and we'll get this thing cranked out and ready to get it over to powder.
Just kind of cleaning up some of the factory stuff that's left, like when they stop a weld, they'll leave wire on it, things like that. When it's bare metal and you're getting ready to do your cosmetic work on it, now's the time to do it so it doesn't come off or mess up later. Just cleans it up, makes it look better. Well, you want to check when you've got your frame to bare metal and you're going to do all your cosmetic work. You want to go through and check all your hazard points for cracks. They're real prone to it around the head stays, up here around your shock mounts. A lot of them are real bad about doing this top weld right here. They'll crack. So down on the bottom, around your lower A-arm mounts, real prone to it. Some frames, worse than others, are bad about it on the back. That's what the gusset kit does. It takes a lot of the stress and strain out of the weak points, strengthens that weak point, and cures the problem. start putting your kit in, you don't want to do a full weld on everything. You want to tack the whole kit in place. That way you don't have the frame pulling itself out of square. You want to get everything square, get everything tacked in where it goes. And from that point, once you're all good, check everything, make sure you got everything where it goes, weld it in. That's it. Frame's welded, gasket kit's in, ready to go to powder. Actually, it's got to get sandblasted again first, so.
We're taping off all the bearing races and taping off all the holes for screws and everything, so that way powder don't get inside them. Alright, right now I'm setting the temperature on the oven. First coat will go on about 385 for about a half hour. And then the second coat will go on for about 375 after that for about another half hour, and then it'll be done.
You probably noticed when we shot that second coat that it went on and it looked like it was white. That's because it's a clear top coat. And I don't know the actual technical reasoning why they do that. One reason that I think they did it, and what's nice about the way they do it that way, is as you noticed, as the frame got covered, it totally washed out all the orange. It made the entire frame white, which makes it easy to know if you've got the proper film thickness and complete coverage. So I don't know if that's the actual reason that they make it white, but that's a nice side effect. So.
When our frame emerged from the oven, its looks exceeded our expectations. Bear Performance did a beautiful job of applying our two-stage powder, which provided the deep red undertones with orange highlights that we were looking for. But more importantly, our frame was now considerably stronger than a stock 400EX frame for less than half the price of a new frame and subframe.
Well, that's it. You guys, we've taken you through it. Final product. give us a call and we can do yours. Number 765-744-0320. Ask to talk to Matt and we will get you hooked up looking just like this. In the meantime, look for this. The guys out at ATV Scene will be rocking this out at the racetrack. Stop by, say hi, take a look, and we will see your frame coming in soon.
On the next episode of Quad Builder, Billy finishes the assembly of our CT Racing 426EX engine. The chassis starts to come together with parts from JD Performance and BEP Suspension, and our machine begins to take shape. All this and more on the next episode of Quad Builder.